Welcome back to the Acoustic Shop channel. We're talking about custom shop guitars. In fact, we're talking about Martin custom guitars because the Acoustic Shop is now a custom shop dealer, except we're doing it our way. Let us tell you what the difference is. Jeremy, that is an absolutely gorgeous guitar. And
well, thank you. I built this one.
Did you actually?
No, but we did get to pick it out from the custom shop in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. So some of them they had pre-built.
Which are one of the guitars that we're going to be talking about today.
But we got to select hardwoods. You were actually right there in the thick of it.
Oh, it's
picking
crazy.
out stuff. We're going to talk about kind of what your approach is to building custom guitars.
You know
and
what
why
my
it's
approach
different.
is? Opposite of everybody. Everybody. You guys, they put woods in front of me. I was like, no.
Which was
Threw
you
that
guys
away.
like? Burn them. What is that cardboard over there? I want that one. No.
No, I think the cool thing about this shop, and you know this, and folks who have done custom builds with us, whether it's with whatever brand that we've done in the past, kind of know that what I love about custom guitars is not finding the highest end features, the highest end whatever it is, and putting it all together in this big giant conglomerate of I built the fanciest, coolest thing that they could build. No, I think the opposite. I think the idea of guitars, especially custom shop guitars, is get something that is personal, that feels like it's yours, but is truly a performance upgrade, and doing it in the most economical way possible. I struggle a lot of times when talking with some of these companies where they're like, well, everybody wants this and everybody wants that. Yeah, but how much does that cost? And I think the line always has to be drawn of, let's look at what a add-on or a upgrade costs and figure out, is that truly a major upgrade
What
to
is
the guitar?
Value add?
Yeah,
as
the
they say.
value add. Good job.
I think there's two approaches that I've seen from some of the custom shop builds. Is either somebody that just does the bare minimum and says, all right, give me that same guitar, but put an Adirondack spruce top on it.
That's a pretty good performance upgrade.
It is a good upgrade, but it's not, it's not
really
taking it to
feel
that
like a
next.
custom shop
It's not a
guitar.
one of a kind that makes it. You have the only one of those in existence. And then there's the other ones that go the extreme opposite. It's like, that's the only piece of wood you're ever going to find from a million-year-old tree, and I want that one, but I want you to cut holes in it and put diamonds throughout.
I want rubies and diamonds.
So those are the two very far extremes of that, where it seems like the sweet spot is somewhere in the middle, where you're finding things that are going to upgrade the tone of the instrument, the performance of it, playability, but still make it a one of a kind that this person can go, you know what, there's not another one that's built exactly like this, or this select piece of wood on here, you're not going to find another like it.
Yeah, especially, like I said, for value. We did a lot of guitars while we were up there, and it was fun. I had an absolute blast. Martin has a different system than any of the other companies that I've ever worked with. It was great, but I had to learn how to get around a lot of the stuff, because it was really easy to look at a guitar and go, all right, this is where I want to go. Well, do you want hide glue? Do you want to do this with golden air bracing, or do you want to do this with authentic bracing? Every one of those was a major add-on, and it was really quick that you could start with a $5,000 guitar and end up somewhere in 11 without changing any of the major things. It was little tiny things all the way through. So then it was going back through, and I think this is where I think the acoustic shop is really going to find its sweet spot, which is recognizing how many of those little things do we need to add in order to make it a better guitar, yet not just get up and double the price of that guitar. What is the actual best ways to get the most out of this without breaking the bank, without going all the way in? Because that's a really easy thing to do. I mean, if you guys ever go on Martin's guitar site, .com, you can go and play with custom configurators and kind of play with some of those on your own, and you will find out really fast. It is really easy to take guitar and go.
It's very similar as you're talking about this, I feel, and you guys are going to appreciate that, I'm sure of it, to wedding planning or funerals, where they start bringing out the stuff and they're like, here's our base package, but if you want to add the gold hardware to it, you want the silk and satin on the end, and this could be a funeral or a wedding on this trip right now. You want the silk, or you want the satin tablecloths or liner to the casket. It starts to add up quick, and pretty soon you've got a wedding or funeral that costs you $20,000 when that
I would have
started
went
out
with
at
a car,
$3,000.
Jer, but I've seen that in cars. Yes, you are correct.
I've been to both weddings and funerals where they're trying to sell you the upgraded packages, and it's very quick that those prices add up.
It is true.
And
it is absolutely true.
Difference is those things are like a quick event and then it's over, so you spend a lot of money. This is something hopefully you're going to have for your lifetime. So really getting that value out of it, something that's going to make it a better instrument that you're going to want to play more, I think those are very important. But like you said, you have to be cautious because it quickly could add up. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say another thing that we're doing different than everybody else is when you guys kind of were out there picking out the woods, I snuck over and got into Chris's secret stash, broke into it,
shoved those in there,
slid those into the pile. So we got the Chris Martin. No, there was a secret stash, so we were able to look at it in the distance. But
yeah, it's over there. Don't
film back there. But it was really cool. The stacks and stacks of wood that they have is legendary, and to see it in person, they have some of the finest wood selections out there, so that was not an issue at all. That was it was like a kid in a candy store picking out wood sets for guitars. But doing it, and what I like kind of about watching you do it is you have our profile of our customer in mind, and a lot of the woods they were showing, it's like, well, look at this one, look how gorgeous this is. This, and we got to make this a dreadnought. It's like, I'm not sure that would be the right one for our customer.
Yeah.
So kind of steering it towards what we know works for the audience and community we built.
Hey guys, I hope you guys are enjoying this video. If you are, please make sure to like and subscribe, click the bell, ding the bell, do whatever you can, because that is going to help us to continue to grow this channel. So keeping that in mind, always when they do go up there with Martin Custom Shop Experience, there are some pre-built guitars, and there were a lot.
They've got a beautiful room just to sit in and hang out in, and the walls are covered, probably about 50 custom shop built guitars ready to pick from. Mm-hmm. And again, I think it kind of set the standard when you had that really expensive, like crazy blinged out instruments and gorgeous woods, and then we kind of gravitated towards more of the, what is the functionality of this one? This is a gorgeous top. How does it sound? It set the stage for the rest of the wood picking process.
I think there's got to be a mix of both. Like this guitar right here. This was a pre-build. It does have Guatemalan rosewood that is stunning. And there were a few guitars that had this in it. That one, the Pommele Sapele, absolutely stunning. But then there was a combination of how much, because there was other guitars that had this, but they were a much more expensive variety with a few extra options that I was like, yeah, I don't know, it's worth, those options were really the greatest runs for that particular one. So we really did, like you said, set a standard, even just working with them before we started building new ones, which was letting them know, this is our focus. Our focus is, does it sound fantastic? Does it connect? Does it have a price point that really works for what you're getting for that, for that amount of money? And this was one of them. I just absolutely loved it. You got, a beautiful, I think this was Italian spruce top, if I remember right, Guatemalan rosewood sides and back. Has the snowflakes, so a little bit of extra bling. Does have the 41 binding on here, so not
Maple.
quite the 42, but maple binding to add to it. So there's like these little back and forths where we didn't go all the way to one direction or the other and still kept it at a pretty darn affordable space. Same thing there. There's some extra bling in that, but that Pommele Sapele looks gorgeous in a Grand Performance body. That's an absolutely killer guitar that's not as well known for Martin, but had an incredible sound.
Yeah.
And it just seemed to just make sense all the way around. The guitars that are coming, excuse me, in the future are awesome. I'm so excited for you guys to see some of them. And they are going to be more of your kind of down the road 18s and 28 specialty style guitars that we are really kind of known for, because we really do know that customer base very well, as well as some other ones that aren't. And some where we just really featured the woods and didn't just go crazy with inlay packages and extras. So I'm really excited about the ones coming. I'm excited about the ones that we brought back, because it could have been a whole lot easier to spend a lot more money in that room.
Yeah, and this is not to say that we don't appreciate some of those bling. I personally love that 3 millionth guitar that they used all the different woods to make the wood grains. I know it's not the most beautiful thing for a lot of people, but I think it reminded me a lot of back you read about back in the days of kings and queens, when the blacksmith would present something to just show his skill, and
yeah.
like the most skilled craftsman would present something that it's a goblet that is so ornate, but it was to show how skilled these craftsmen were. And when these top end anniversary guitars are built, it's mainly to show this is the level of craft that we have perfected. And some of those guitars, I admire them from afar, but from us just building custom shop guitars, we're going more for form and functionality.
Absolutely. Anyway, needless to say, we are extremely excited about custom shop guitars from Martin. It is a whole bunch of fun. If you're looking for a custom instrument of your own, and obviously a big Martin fan, I think we really understand what it is that Martin is all about, what can be done and what can't be done, because there are limitations. You can't just go in there and just do everything, but we can actually help you build that dream guitar that you've always wanted, or you can actually start looking to us to bring some guitars that maybe you didn't even know that you wanted. And I think it's going to be kind of fun to watch what Martin does with some of those. speaking of custom shop guitars, the Authentic series officially is a custom shop guitar. Did you know that, Jared?
I did not.
It is. So we did a video all about those, especially the aged versus non-aged. Is there a difference? Spoiler alert, there is. And you should check it out. We got a video all about it. The link is right here in the middle of the screen. I hope you guys will enjoy that. I think that's a great series of custom shop guitars. So check it out.